Now it's time to buy or sell, and we'll start with Sherrone Moore in Michigan. We've been talking about him a lot over the last couple days, couple episodes. Michigan, Drew, they're obviously 4-3. They're 2-2 in conference play, coming off of 21-7 loss at Illinois. Back-to-back Big Ten road games where they have lost. They rank 129th nationally in passing offense, only 7 plays over 10 yards or more through the air, which is mind-boggling to me. I mean, we could go on for days here. Drew, not the first year that I think a lot of Michigan fans expected, coming off a national championship. So the floor is yours. Over the next 2 years, are you buying or selling Sherrone Moore?
Why isn't there a hold option?
There should be. There should be.
Who came up with this? Yeah, who came up with this segment? I think a few days ago, buy would have been much, much easier. Then they get Andrew Babaloa, one of the highest ranked offensive line recruits ever. We just detailed him, how he was the one that Sherrone Moore needed to get. So he gets him committed. Coop, I have sell right here, but I really want to hold until this transfer portal window because I want to see what they do at quarterback, right? Do they go out and bring in a veteran? And is it going to be, one of the hottest names on the market, one of the most coveted names on the market? I don't think so. But you look at Indiana also in the Big Ten, they get Curtis Rorick. I know we're going to talk about the Hoosiers here in a little bit. I mean, he was number 17 in the transfer quarterback rankings, a guy that played a lot of football at Ohio, has stepped in right away and has the Hoosiers in the hunt for a spot in the college football playoffs. So I think the questions and the reason why you sell is because of quarterback, but I'm holding out hope that once we get to December, they're active. They go out and they get a guy that can come in and provide some stability and make them less one-dimensional on offense.
Yeah, it's a first-year head coach with a lot of new surrounding staff members that I think is swimming right now, still trying to find his identity. I think a lot of people will point to the quarterback position. That's typically where I point, and that's where it all starts. There's some other position groups, other aspects of this Michigan team that really aren't up to snuff as well, Drew. I think the other thing we mentioned on Monday was that, all right, your 2 guys in the middle between Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant gone. Will Johnson's gone, top 10 pick. You look at them offensively, Khalil Mullings gone, Donovan Edwards probably gone. It's going to be tough, man, in terms of what they're doing offensively, and they're going to lose some guys on the offensive line. So, Michigan is an elite under Jim Harbaugh developmental program. Can that continue under Sherrone Moore? That's a necessity. That has to happen. They have to continue to kind of live in that rarefied air where they do more with less. Don't get me wrong. They're still bringing in quality talent, but they're not recruiting the way Texas or Georgia is or Alabama is year to year. That's not Michigan's MO. Drew, now you take away a 3-year starter and a top 10 pick in J.J. McCarthy, and you got Alex Orji, Jack Tuttle, and Davis Warren. Don't know what's going on with Jaden Davis. Is he the future? I don't think so. What are you bringing in this class? There's no immediate answer. I'm concerned. I'm with you. If there was a hold option, I would be holding it. But if I had to pick, I'd be selling stock right now. I'm a little concerned that this might be too big for Sherrone Moore. I felt the same way about Mike Norvell. He came back and responded in a big way. Now it's gone the opposite direction. So you got to give these guys time. And I think Sherrone Moore deserves time to figure it out. But yeah, if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm a little nervous, Drew.
Let me ask you this, Cooper. I mean, you worked in Ann Arbor at one point in your previous life. If you're in that department, right? We'll see how the season goes. Are you trying to build through the high school ranks, or do you hit panic and you go into the transfer portal and you try to bring in 20 new faces? What's the model? What's the path you choose? What you have done under Jim Harbaugh, what got you a national title, or do you try to quickly rebuild? Because like you said, I think next season's roster outlook is a lot worse than this season's.
I think the answer is you have to build through high school, and I think you have to supplement, which has been what Michigan has done, right? They've done well in areas, especially on their national championship team, solidified the cornerback position, solidified the pass rushing position as well. They bring in guys like Jashawn Barham. That's where they should be living, right? This shouldn't be a team that has to pick over the portal year after year. They have to build it through high school. But here's my thing. There is no reason, I believe this when I was at Michigan, we fell short of this. There's no reason that Michigan should not be a top 7 or 8 program when it comes to recruiting each and every year. They leave a lot of meat left on the bone. They have so much to sell, especially coming off a national championship. And you have a young coach that should be a dynamic recruiter. Yet, Drew, I don't really know if he is. There are a lot of question marks on him as well. So I think they got to ramp it up from a recruiting standpoint, from a talent identification standpoint. Obviously they won the national championship and they were in a super experienced team. That's great, but they have to get back to the basics. And this is a team that you want to see an uptick in terms of the talent ID evaluation. I just feel like they're too comfortable in terms, well, we're going to get our guys in here. We're going to develop them. And it's like, okay, listen, you had Jim Harbaugh, you had JJ McCarthy, you were super experienced on both sides of the ball. That's really kind of the exception of the rule. If you want to keep that thing going, then you're really going to be having a significant smaller margin of error. And right now, Michigan, they just seem too complacent to me. I want to see the foaming at the mouth type of killer that we haven't seen in, quite honestly, in my opinion, they don't have that. Babalola is a great start, but they should be recruiting like that across the board, and there's no reason that they shouldn't. And I've thought that if you're a Michigan fan that doesn't think that they should be recruiting in the top 5 every year, when you have that type of network, that type of business school, that type of education, that type of history, one of the most winning programs in all of college football history, and you don't think that you should have a top 5 product when it comes to recruiting, I don't know what to tell you. That's a self-esteem issue. So anyway, I'm selling my stock too. We're both selling on Michigan. We'll end it there.
Let him cook. Hey,
Yeah,
got to hold on
yeah.
to Ivan Taylor and Andrew Olesh. They're top 2 ranked commits. Other schools sniffing around on both. I think those guys could potentially be on the field in 2025.